Welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about how intuition is the invisible infrastructure for healing chronic illness, which we also know as invisible illness. So many of you in this community have experience with chronic illness, with autoimmune disease, with chronic symptoms, or mystery illnesses. And you know how frustrating it can be to look fine, to look normal, to look healthy. Yet on the inside, your body is hurting in some way or maybe many ways. And that was my experience with anxiety. That feeling that would creep up my arms and into my chest, and that made the world seem dark and fuzzy. And all of a sudden, my hands would be twitching, and I would feel numb, and I would be scared, terrified actually, of dying. Yet, you could have been sitting right next to me and thought I was totally fine. And in fact, if you're listening and you know me personally, it's possible, likely even, that I may have been experiencing extreme anxiety sitting right next to you. I was always so ashamed of it, and I didn't want to stand out, and I didn't want people to realize the pain that I was in. And this is invisible illness. It is the person with chronic migraines that still puts a smile on his or her face every single day. It is the person with Lyme disease, the person with Hashimoto's, the person with celiac disease, the person with fibromyalgia, the person with endometriosis. These can all be debilitating illnesses, yet they are invisible to our human eye. And while many of us are more comfortable with what we can see, sometimes the greatest solutions and wisdom that is available to us is beyond what is visible, yet has been there all along. For example, I used to scour hours on end, different health blogs for solutions to acne. What supplement, cream, protocol, exfoliator, expensive laser treatment would be the most helpful for me, and finally, quoting here, quote, fix me. And after many hours of researching and many dollars spent on these tangible solutions, again, kind of with a quote, because I was still struggling with that same acne at the end of all of that. And it's not that tangible solutions don't work. They can work. But what I want to highlight today is that we're so much quicker to reach for the solution that we can pick up or off of a shelf. That if you're struggling with anxiety too, you might grab the Xanax, or drink your grounding tea, or apply your oil. Or if you're struggling with acne, you might try out the new facial. Or for me, it was like, the more it burns, the more it's working, right? So if I can feel the exfoliation, it must be healing me. And if you have stomach pain, you might feel more comfortable and might more quickly reach for something off a shelf like Pepto-Bismol or the apple cider vinegar, holistic or not. It doesn't matter whether it's a healthy solution or not. I'm just trying to highlight that we're quicker to reach for the solutions that we can pick up off a shelf and that we can see with our human eye. So like headaches as well. You might grab for the ibuprofen or grab for the ice pack. But what if the most impactful framework for healing invisible illness included an invisible infrastructure? I'm just going to say that again. What if part of the most impactful framework for healing invisible illness included an invisible infrastructure? Meaning beyond what you can pick up off of a shelf, beyond what your eye can even see, beyond what someone else can give you and hand you or even coach you through, and instead something within yourself. Have you ever considered that? Seriously, I want to know. Have you ever considered that the pathway to healing invisible illness would include an invisible infrastructure? I believe that it does. And especially if external solutions have not been working for you or have only gotten you so far, why wouldn't we consider an internal framework for the answers that we've been seeking? And this internal framework is called your intuition. It is like a highway of communication pathways intricately wound around you and within you. Like little messages fluttering around you, just waiting to be snatched and opened. Like when your BFF slid you a note under the table in like 7th grade in middle school, and the energy of that note that she was trying to pass you was like shouting, open me, what does it say inside? Yet you were staring all googly-eyed over at like Hot Bobby in class. And if you were so entranced by Hot Bobby over here, you would have totally missed your BFF's glance of an eye and signal to reach under the table and meet her halfway for the note, right? Because you're distracted by all these things on the shelf. You're distracted by Hot Bobby, and you're not listening to your damn intuition and the invisible infrastructure that has always been there and will always be there, and instead you're searching for external solutions. So we got to reach our hand under the table, meeting our BFF halfway, so we can get that note that wants to be opened and has so much in 7th grade, who knows what it would have said, but thinking now, what are the messages that, let's say your BFF's actually your higher self or your spirit guides or someone who wants and wishes you the best, most healing path? We got to meet our intuition halfway. And just like that glance of an eye from your BFF is subtle, your intuition is subtle in this way too. It's not something that you see. It's something that you experience with all of your senses. It is a deep inner knowing. It is a shortcut to your deepest truth. You guys tell I get fired up about this. When I started using my intuition after many years of shutting it out and shutting myself off to it, I immediately felt empowered. I felt confident again. I felt grounded after years and years of anxiety. I felt connected to myself. And my intuition has helped me make the most aligned choices along my healing path. It has helped me believe that my healing was in fact possible. That I could get better, that I could heal, that I was worth healing, that I didn't need anyone else to tell me what to do, and instead, those answers are within me, were inside of me, and I stopped looking on the shelves for tangible solutions. And I started closing my eyes and asking my body, what does it need? I started asking my mind, what is the purpose of these thoughts? I started asking my higher self, please guide me. And to say miracles entered my life is an understatement. Everything changed. I have full body chills right now. I changed. And I'm so glad that I changed. We are meant to evolve as souls. So if you're wanting to build the invisible infrastructure for your healing, especially with an invisible illness, you know what to do, sister. You know. First of all, the answers are already inside of you. Second, I invite you to join me for my 5-week course hosted just once a year called Intuitive Soul School. And I would be so honored to hold this space for you and see you inside. This is not a course that teaches you something that then you're becoming dependent upon me or these tools in a tangible way. And instead, after you graduate from this 5-week experience, you have the tools within you to have your entire invisible infrastructure created and built out to support you today and always, always in your life. If you have any questions about this course or invisible infrastructures or your intuition, I am so happy to support all of you, and it's such an honor to hold this space for you. I love you all so much. I